Hi friends, I'm Victoria. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today, it's Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. So we have a Thanksgiving reading vlog and we're gonna do a lot of horror reading. I'm actually going to be spending the holiday and the long weekend alone here at home. We had fully planned on driving to Texas today when Drew got off work, but there is a snowstorm coming in, and just out of an abundance of caution, Drew made the call on Monday to just fly there himself, and I'll stay here and watch the boys, our dog, and our cat. It was just too late to find someone to watch Jasper. So, it all works out. I'm gonna miss seeing his family, but I do love being alone so much, and I am just looking forward to having some cozy time, watching some spooky stuff, reading some books. But I am gonna go to friendsgiving tomorrow. My neighbor Kayla, she's having some people over. That worked out perfectly, so I'm not gonna be totally alone. I will have people to spend Thanksgiving dinner with, which is nice. This will be the first Thanksgiving ever that I'm on my own to figure out what I want to do, so that's interesting. I'm 31, I'm kind of excited about it. But one thing's for sure, I'm gonna be eating some good vegan food and I'm gonna be reading some books. There are a couple that I am 100% sure I'm gonna read just because my library checkout is gonna go back real soon. And the first one is Cranberry Cove by Haley Piper. This is a little short one. I think it's just a short story, but it's a fantasy horror. And Cranberry Cove is about a hotel. It's like a really derelict hotel, and something strange is going on there. Our main character is about to take a dark journey inside the derelict hotel and inside her own past to find out the horrible truth. That's it. It's very vague, and I'm excited to see what it's like. I love a spooky, maybe haunted hotel. I would love that. I also thought like cranberries and Thanksgiving went together. So that's how my mind was working with this one when I checked it out. And you know what? I like it. The next one I have on my list is The Black Hunger by Nicholas Pullen. This one just came out, and it is a romance horror. I'm interested to see how this goes. I'm iffy about romance, but I'm okay if it's a subplot. I'm okay if there's more horror and more to say. It does say that it's a queer gothic horror, and we're following two men that are drawn into an otherworldly spiral and a journey that will only end when they reach the darkest part of the human soul. And it sounds like we're following this person as they are close to death, and they write their last testament. It is a tale of otherworldly creatures, ancient cults, and a terrifying journey from the stone circles of Scotland to the icy peaks of Tibet. It is a tale that will take us to the end of the world. I don't know. It sounds very random, maybe a little chaotic, and I have no idea what it's about just from that. But I'm excited to give it a go. It is a debut, so I don't know. We'll see, but I like the overall idea. I also have a graphic novel that I'm interested in, and that is Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. This one's rather popular, and it's a bit older. I think it's almost 10 years old, but I know it's a really popular horror graphic novel. But it's a collection of 5 different horror graphic stories, and I believe it's like fairy tales gone wrong, or like fairy tales gone spooky. Maybe that will be my graphic novel for the weekend. But my other option is Feast While You Can by Michaela Clements and Anjuli Datta. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It says, this strange and sexy novel of queer love in a small town is an unsettling reminder that the horrors of modern life is a monster ready to possess us all. Sounds fun. It says that in this small town, an ancient evil is awakened and a monstrous force infiltrates our main character's life. So I'm very intrigued. I haven't heard anything about this one yet. It is brand new, but it says that it's good for readers of Night Bitch and We Ride Upon Sticks. I haven't read We Ride Upon Sticks, but I have read Night Bitch, and I'm like, this sounds weird and strange and like a weird girl horror romance. Like feast, hunger, cranberries. It goes with the Thanksgiving weekend theme. It's kind of a stretch, but I feel like it fits in a way. I'm actually off work already. It's Wednesday. It's like 12:30 p.m. I had a short day today, a half day at work. And yeah, I don't have any plans today. I think I might just start cleaning or something. Drew's working. He's coming back home and is going to the airport, I think at 3 p.m. or something like that. I have no plans today. I was gonna work out, but I don't think I'm going anywhere because it is snowing. And yeah, maybe it's just a good time to clean and kind of get my life together. I feel like if I could kick off the long weekend with a nice clean apartment, that would be amazing. I can also listen to one of these audiobooks while I clean and knock some reading out, so that'll be good. And just like get a good start on the weekend. But yeah, this weekend, reading, cleaning, eating, and watching. I'm definitely gonna watch Thanksgiving, the horror slasher that came out last year, and then, you know, maybe some cozy stuff. I usually watch Son-in-Law on Thanksgiving. It's like one of the best. But yeah, I'm so excited to have you along for the ride. I hope everyone has a lovely holiday. If you celebrate, I understand if you do not, because it is kind of a crappy holiday. It's definitely not my favorite. But yeah, I hope that you get to spend time with some people you love, or just with yourself, and having a nice cozy day off. If you have it off, I hope you do. I feel like that's one of the good things recently is stores aren't open on Thanksgiving anymore. There was like a chunk of time where like Walmart and everything was open on Thanksgiving, and I'm like, y'all need to calm down. Like, give people a day off. Quick update, I just dropped Drew off at the airport. It is, I think, like 3 p.m.-ish, 3:30, and I did start reading Cranberry Cove, or listening to it earlier. I was cleaning, I got the kitchen clean a little bit, so did some things, but I got pretty far. I'm like 40% in, and I wanted to update you real quick because I'm about to drive back home, and I'm going to listen to it on the drive, and it took us almost an hour to get here, so I think the drive home might be long too. There's traffic. There's Thanksgiving traffic. This one, we're following this woman and her partner, and they kind of work for like a crime boss or something. I don't know the correct terminology, but they work for this like bad man, and the bad man's son was hurt. He had an assault happen to him when at this old hotel called Cranberry Cove, and Cranberry Cove has a history of things happening just to men there, and some very spooky things happening to them, and bad things. So our main character and her partner, they go to Cranberry Cove. It's been closed down since the 70s. It's just like a really gross hotel, and you know, has been known for all these things happening there, so it's just abandoned. And pretty early on, our main character, she starts to see things. She's trans, so I feel like we're getting some good commentary here, but she experiences something scary there, and then like no one is believing her, that she thinks that this place is haunted, and she's kind of worried, her and her partner, because she's like, if we don't find out who did this to our boss's son, you know, he's gonna not be happy with us. Like, we can't come to him and be like, this place is haunted. Like, they don't know what to do or how to solve this issue that's going on, so that their boss doesn't like start basically a war with the rivalry side, because he's just like blaming this incident that happened to his son on his rivals. It's really interesting. I'm liking the setup. I'm liking our main character. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm gonna get on the road. Okay, I'm back home now. It took me, I mean, in all, driving him there and getting back home, around 2 hours. It's rough out there. But it did stop snowing, and it turned into a really beautiful day. So we could have driven to Texas, but too late now. But I did finish Cranberry Cove, and I have thoughts. I didn't love it in the end. I feel like at the beginning I was like, oh, this is really mysterious. The hotel and the stuff going on there and the things that have happened there for, you know, years and years, and like happening to just men, is really interesting to me. And I liked our main character. But in the end, when everything came about, it was just so easy, like so convenient how she found out what was going on. And then in the end, I was just kind of like, meh, not a ton ended up happening. Like, I wanted it to get a bit more scary, and I wanted to have some like really good scenes in the hotel, and we really only get a couple of scenes in there that are spooky. So I expected a little bit more. I feel like it could have done better if it was longer. Like, I know it's kind of like a short story or a novella, but I feel like there was just places where we could have really expanded on some stuff. But I didn't hate it. I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I thought it was good, not great, just fine. While what was going on is surprising and a bit different, it just like fell into our lap, and like we just happened to find the right people and, you know, figure out what was going on. So I was just kind of like, okay. I'm gonna start cleaning my closet. It's scary. It's scary in there. I might insert a clip. I don't know if I will. I will be embarrassed. It is a mess, but I think I'm gonna start cleaning and just like clean as long as I have the motivation to do it. I'm gonna start probably the Black Hunger. Well, yeah, definitely that, because it's due in like 3 days at the library. So gonna start the Black Hunger, and I will update you once I've gotten a little bit into it. Okay, I cleaned for like an hour. My closet is still a mess, but I organized and like refolded the clothes that go in my drawers. So got that done. But I was listening to the audiobook while doing that. And then I started reading the ebook, and I'm like 30% into the Black Hunger now. I'm liking it. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of info. We start right off where the person that we're following is on his deathbed, like he's in an asylum, and he's writing his story of his life. And his name is John. He was raised in England. It was either England or Scotland, but he was raised by a wealthy family. And from a very young age, he knew he was gay. And one of his neighbors had a son around his age, and they became very close, very young, and had a very strong bond and a strong relationship, and they were together. And our main character, it's interesting because our main character's parents seemed really understanding. They never said that they knew, but he kind of assumed that they did. We're in the 1800s, by the way. And his parents are like, it's time for you to go to school. You're gonna go to Oxford like your father did. And his father's like, you do get to bring a servant with you, and you know, you should bring your friend Garrett. And Garrett is his boyfriend. And he doesn't know for sure, but he feels like his parents kind of knew, and they were just more progressive in their ideas and understanding, which is very sweet. And they go to Oxford. Everyone understands that they're like friends, but still there's kind of like assumed that level of class separation between them. But really they spend all their time together and are in love. So there's that. And what is nice is like that's the romance of it. It's not as much of a romance as I thought it was going to be. Start out with that, him going to Oxford, learning. He gets really interested in Buddhism, reads something in a book that he can't find anywhere else. And it's about this person in Buddhism somewhere that was given the name of the executioner, and he can't find anything about it. And he's really curious, but he continues his studies in that religion, and he ends up going to India. So his boyfriend comes with him as, you know, his servant again to India. And there he's doing more deep studies, learning more. He's actually getting introduced to quite a few higher ups and influential people in India, as well as just like the Buddhist religion overall. And he asks about this thing that he read, and they are like, no, like obviously they're like, do not talk about this. So it's very mysterious, and it seems like maybe there's like some sort of demon or like antichrist, if you will, that might be coming back. I don't know how I feel about that. I didn't know what this book was going to be about, and as we're getting into it, I'm like, okay, interesting. It's more religious than I would think, but it's not Christianity, it's Buddhism. So I'm like, okay. And there has been kind of an ultimatum happening where he has to go help and assist in what is going on, and to like prevent this demon from coming back and taking over the world or something. It's kind of vague and mysterious exactly what the bad thing or person wants to do. But yeah, our guy has gotten wrapped into it. So far, I am really liking it. I just did not think this is what it was going to be. I really like our main character. He's really smart. I like his relationship with Garrett. I think they're sweet together, and they truly, really do love each other. And as far as just like the atmosphere and the writing, it's feeling very Babel, or like Babel, if you read that book. I think that's R.F. Kuang. I'm not sure, but it's feeling very that. And I did love that book, but they're getting a lot of information fed to us, and we're kind of hopping around from place to place. Like, but then there's also something about a community of people, of like this demon's followers, and them having something called the Black Hunger that can like kind of spread. I don't know. A lot's happening. But so far the atmosphere is super good. It's very like dark academia feeling and perfect for the season. So I am liking that so far. I'm interested to learn more about this Black Hunger and if it is actually really spooky. So far, not scary at all. It's more just like information, fiction here. So, but I think I'm done reading for a minute. I think I might watch something and maybe I'll have some lasagna. Drew actually made lasagna for his work today for, they had like a Thanksgiving potluck. So he made lasagna. There's still a lot left, so I have a lot of lasagna. I had lasagna for lunch, probably will have lasagna for dinner. And yeah, I think I'll have some hot chocolate later because that sounds tasty. And we'll see what happens. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It is the next morning. I don't know how, but I woke up, well, I'm so dry. I think that's what it is, but I'm like, I lost my voice somehow. Well, it's still there. I feel totally fine, but I'm just congested. And I think it's because it's so dry in here. Like I really turned the heat on and it's like sucking the life out of me. So yeah, also just living in Denver, it's so dry here. And that's why my lips are always chapped and it's awful. I hate it. But it is the morning of Thanksgiving. I've just been sitting here. It's 10 a.m. now and I just watched Santa come through on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. So that was fun. I love watching the parade every year. I had me some coffee. I'm trying to decide if I want to go to a workout class. There aren't a ton right now. I mean, understandably, it's Thanksgiving. But there is a Soul Cycle class at 11. I don't love Soul Cycle. It's not my favorite. But I'm like, it's an option. Maybe I'll go. Soul Cycle is just like too upbeat, too much. They're doing the most. And I have to wear earplugs because I get like kind of overwhelmed with all the sounds and the working out and the lights. It's not my ideal class, but I don't know. We'll see. Last night I watched Thanksgiving. Fun, silly, ridiculous. A really just like easy horror slasher. I knew who the killer was from the very beginning. I knew this like within 2 minutes. Then I had some hot chocolate and yeah, then I went to bed. I didn't do too much else. I did read a bit more before I went to bed. I might be 50% in now. And after my last update, I had ended like the first part and I'm now in part 2, even though the names are kind of weird because now it's saying part 1, something else. And we're actually following another character now named Sam. And he is a doctor. He also went to Oxford. And he is invited to Scotland to go review this woman who her brother-in-law is wanting to get her declared insane so that he can gain control over the estate. And the doctor goes there. He actually knows this woman from when he was younger, and he sees something there, a scary creature on his way there. And he's like, maybe she's not crazy. Maybe she's actually seeing these things and there's something scary out there. And I mean, I guess this ties into the other like demons or whatever. There's a lot going on. I'm not gonna lie. When it made this switch, I was really confused because I was like, what is happening? Who are we following? Just like a quick switch. Like I was reading a different book almost. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We're still getting a lot of information. I do think the atmosphere is good. Like I said, now we're in Scotland. It's kind of spooky. It's dreary. It's winter. Good for the season. And yeah, I'm liking that part. But yeah, we're still talking about like if there's like demon creatures or these people like these cult followers and like their hunger. Everything is very mysterious. But I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I have no plans for the day until later when I'm going to my friend Kayla's house. That's at 5 p.m. But I'm gonna cook some food. I have a vegan holiday roast I'm gonna cook. I have gravy that I got. I mean, most of the things are like just heating. And I think I'm gonna make mashed potatoes. I also bought stuff to make stuffing, but I feel like that's just too much food to make for myself. I'll bring everything over to Kayla's house too, but I mean, they're gonna have all their own stuff that's not vegan, obviously. So kind of weird to be alone on Thanksgiving. I don't really know how to feel. It just like feels like a regular day. I'm gonna sit here for a good 5 minutes and finish my coffee and decide if I'm gonna go work out or not. Okay, I'm back home. I did go to SoulCycle and it was actually pretty fun. I came home, showered. I also talked on the phone to my family, and now I got a sweet potato. I'm trying to save my appetite for later because I'm anticipating eating so much food, but I'm hungry. But I had a sweet potato in the fridge left over from the other night, so I'm gonna eat that. There's nothing better than a sweet potato. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the SoulCycle class was fun. It's fun, but it's a little bit, I don't know, there's like a lot of toxic positivity there. They like have you dance and they're like, hold hands with your neighbor. And I'm like, that's a little much for me. I'm like, we're in a pandemic. Not really anymore, but that's what I want to say when they're like, hold someone's hand. But yeah, still fun. So glad I went. I'm feeling good. Washed my hair, and what time is it? It's almost 1:30. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the mashed potatoes, and then I need to like put my roast in the oven, I think like an hour and a half or 2 hours before 5, and then yeah, just get to cooking. I don't think I have a ton of stuff to cook like manually other than mashed potatoes. I got pre-made gravy, I got the roast pre-made, I got a pre-made green bean casserole from Sprouts, and I got some little apple turnovers. So yeah, pretty easy for me. I'm gonna reheat the lasagna from yesterday and bring the rest of that over. But I sat in the shower for a while. I'm feeling more hydrated. It just gets so dry here, and I actually had a nosebleed earlier this morning. I don't think I mentioned, and it happens to me every single year around this time. My body's like, it's so dry, you need help. I have gotten a bit farther into the book. I was listening to it while driving to and from the gym, and I'm like 65% in, I believe. And there was a moment where I was just kind of like, okay, get somewhere, and we have gotten somewhere for sure. And it has taken a really dark turn and almost like satanic, spooky, weird. And there's something about, I don't know, I don't really know totally what's going on. I was a bit confused there for a minute, but I think that, well, the character that we're following now, Sam, he knows the character John from the beginning. They went to Oxford together or something like that. They met at Oxford, but I think Sam is older. Yeah, Sam's older than him. So I think that they're gonna come together in some way. I believe that's what's happening. I could totally be wrong because there was a while where I was like, I have no idea what's happening right now. But I think that's what's going on. So we shall see, but it's amped up. And I'm quite liking it. And I'm surprised that this shift has happened right now because we still have quite a bit of the book left. Yeah, I probably won't give another update because it's kind of getting hard to talk about. So I'll just let you know once I finish it. Let's make some mashed potatoes. I'm a mashed potato girly. They are my favorite food probably in the whole wide world. I love mashed potatoes, and I can make some really good mashed potatoes, I tell you what. I like to leave the skins on. What kind of mashed potato person are you? Do you like skin on? Do you like them super smooth or a little bit chunky? I like a little bit chunky. I like that bit of texture. But I was like, if there's one thing I'm gonna spend time making, it's gonna be mashed potatoes because they're my favorite thing. They're honestly pretty easy to make. I feel like if I was the kind of person that didn't like the peels on, it would be way more annoying to have to peel so many potatoes. But, you know, I just take the easy route, and that's what I do. And it just works out because that's how I like them. But Okay, so my voice is gone. I'm gonna make myself some tea and get to bed. But I had such a nice time with my friends, had some good food, we played some games, and it was really nice to just spend the holiday with some people that I love. So that was awesome. But I'm gonna drink some tea and go to bed, and hopefully in the morning my voice sounds more like me. Hi friends, it is Wednesday. I ended up getting so sick. I lost my voice completely. I mean, after my last clip, you can tell I was struggling a bit. And then I woke, and it was strange because I felt totally fine Thursday. Like I exercised, everything. I felt good. And then Friday, I woke up, could not speak at all. I was like, what is happening? It was very unfortunate because I had so many plans for the weekend. I had 4 sit-down videos that I was going to film on Saturday. I was like, I'm going to get so ahead of content and everything. And then, of course, this would happen. And I was super bummed. And honestly, I got like really down because I was just like so excited about everything I had planned and like getting stuff done and having like a nice, cozy, fun weekend, just me. And then, yeah, I feel like that's how it goes. And of course, you know, it's like holiday season. You got to get sick at some point. So yeah, couldn't speak at all. I've never had that happen before, to where I literally couldn't say a word. It was very strange. Like normally you'll get hoarse or something, but yeah. But I've just been recovering the past couple of days. Like even now I'm like talking for a minute or two and I'm getting hoarse. But I honestly got so down. I was like really I didn't even read much. I finished The Black Hunger, so I'll go into that. But I didn't pick up another book. I just sat and like watched TV and ate leftover Thanksgiving food and was just like moping. So at least it was a long weekend and I was able to rest and recuperate. I feel very lucky and fortunate for that. And now I'm feeling better and things are looking up. Let's talk The Black Hunger because I did finish it. And I don't know if I've ever had more mixed emotions about a book ever. I'm going to give it 3 stars. This had so much potential, and there were so many parts where I was like, oh, this is getting good. Oh, something wild is happening here. And then it just like would stop, and then we would get so much information. And we have like this huge pacing issue because we start out with John and him, you know, growing up, going to school, going to these different places, and then you know, we're hearing about this Black Hunger and something some maybe demon satanic army coming about to take over the world. And I feel like there's so many things in this that were good. I like the historical aspect. I like the romance. I like that we had this really nice romance between John and Garrett. I thought the relationship was great. It was really sweet just seeing them be themselves. And, you know, even though they were in hiding, they always like made sure each other were safe. And I love that. But then we switched to this other POV where we're following this other guy named Sam. It's all over the place. Like so much happens and then we end up going back to John and things going down there. And I feel like we don't get a resolution here. Like it's almost set up to where there will or should be a sequel, which I don't think I would read. And I was just not satisfied by the ending at all. But I feel like we get all this talk about the hunger and this demon army coming to take over the world. And then like, we just don't get there at all. And I was just kind of like, okay, I can't believe I wasted so much time. It's not like the longest book, but it felt long. Like it felt long. And I applaud it for the ideas and the creativity. It was really funny because the setup, I mean, it's historical, which I do really enjoy. It's a lot like Babel. I don't know how everyone says that book title, but it's like that mixed with The Mummy, like the 1999 Mummy a little bit, mixed with the Da Vinci Code or something. It just had so much happening. And then but also kind of like The Exorcist, because there was like this demonic part to it. I don't know. It was like all over the place. And don't use those as like a reason to read it. Don't be like, oh, I love the 1999 Mummy. Like who doesn't? That's one of the best movies ever and one of the hottest movies ever. but I don't mean that in a good way. It was just kind of like it had those kind of like plot points to it, but I wouldn't go there. It wasn't going where I wanted it to go. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, 3 stars isn't bad at all. I didn't hate it. But yeah, thank you so much for being here and existing with me through this strange vlog. I really thought we were gonna have like the funnest weekend ever, and we did not. But I think I have enough content from just like Wednesday and actual Thanksgiving to make a vlog out of this. And we did read a couple of books, so that's good. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving, and I hope you are staying healthy and not getting sick like me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like bookish content, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have an amazing spooky rest of your day.